Hey everybody, BygPhattyPlus, and welcome back to the Big Man Plays The Longest Journey. Last left off, we went through the looking glass and ended up here. Where is here? I think Arcadia? Yeah. I would say we stick it like a sore thumb, but given what everyone else is wearing, I think we only mildly stick out. Anyway, I'm going to mess with this thing.
What a sorry-looking bird.
Hey, you don't look too polished yourself, lady.
Holy!
Oops, I didn't know you could talk.
Didn't look as if you could talk either.
Bird's got an attitude, I like him.
That's a particularly sleazy-looking merchant. I wonder what he's selling.
Well, let's find out.
Want to test your skill and perception with a game of cups? There are prizes to be won!
How do I play?
How do I play?
You put your coin down on the table. I put a cup on top of it and shuffled it around with the other two cups. And all you have to do is guess which one hides your coin. And remember, no magic used and none allowed. This amulet right here will light up if you use magic. Then you'll be banned. For life!
That's just... I'm gonna pass in your game because he warned me that you're a cheating sleazeball. So instead...
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Time is money, so make it quick.
What do you know about Vestrum Tobias?
Vestrum Tobias, eh? The High Priest of the Sentinel himself. Did you know they call themselves the Fathers? What a joke. When was the last time they did anything for us, the people? No. They are only interested in sticking with their outdated customs and keeping their secrets under lock. I'm getting more and more inclined to listen to these new people, the Vanguard. Their ideas appeal to me. They may be radical, but we're past due for a change. Only thing I don't wholly approve of is their alliance with the Tyrant. Filthy, dangerous people. But the Vanguard seem to have them under control, so I'm not too worried. I wish they wouldn't allow them into the city, though.
You sound racist. How you get along with your neighbor, Mr. Mapmaker over there?
How do you get along with your neighbor?
The maps merchant? We've faced each other for 6 years now, every single day, and he never speaks a word to me except to insult me.
Haha! Good.
Nose high in the sky. Calls me a charlatan, as if he's the guardian himself. You no good oversized bag of wind?
I love this.
Do you know anything about Stark?
Not much. I'm not too sure if I even believe in the place. I mean, you hear the stories and you read the books. Well, I don't, but some do. A place where there's no magic, only science? Sounds like a bloody paradise, doesn't it? I mean, with my, skills, I could make a killing in a place like that.
Or you'd be killed.
What's Arcadia like?
What a queer question that is. What's the world like? It's big, for one. And too expensive. And they should ban Dalmari women from gambling because I swear they have a second sight.
Racist!
Thanks.
Now, how about a game of cups?
I have no money. I'm broke.
Sorry, but I'm broke.
May the balance bring coin to your pocket, young lady, so that you may return to me and invest it in a game of cups.
I'm surprised you didn't call your little tent there your establishment. That's usually what criminals call their illicit enterprises. Establishments. I'm referring directly to the schmuck in Dragon Seeds who runs the gambling pub. You know him. The guy who you meet, the first guy who challenges you in the game just to kill your dragon. Despite the fact that I have lasted longer than the time limit, he still keeps going until your dragon dies because he wants to he wants to he's a schmuck. Okay? Simple as that. He's a schmuck and I don't like him and I would love to see him suplex. And if you manage to make it to the final challenge, you can't suplex him, but you can beat him. Anyway, let's head to the... Well, actually, let's head back here. I think I've wasted enough time talking to morons and fiddlesticks in this place here. Hey, Tobias! You know what? I'm gonna make you run over here first, and I ain't gonna sit here and watch you strut. Okay? I got an LP to get along with, and you walking ain't helping.
Excuse me, Vestrum Tobias?
Tobias. Just call me Tobias, please. I require no ceremony from a distinguished guest such as yourself.
Distinguished?
Did you enjoy the sights?
Not really.
I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Walking around out there, seeing with my own two eyes things that can't possibly exist. I kept thinking, it's all a dream. I'll wake up at any moment now and everything will return to normal. But then I realized, I'm still here. It's real. I can touch it. I can smell it.
Yes.
And you know what? It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense here. Magic, alien creatures, parallel worlds. I don't believe in those things. I don't believe in fairy tales.
Oh, really? You don't?
In your world, in Stark, there is no room for magic. That is, and always has been, the curse of science. The fallibility of logic
Wait,
and order.
Stark is our world. Wait,
They
okay.
leave no room for the imagination. If it does not fit into the narrow perception of the laws of nature that your world adheres to, it's a fairy tale.
Okay, so...
But then, magic has its downsides too. It's unpredictable. It invites chaos. It puts the balance in peril in a way that science alone never could.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing about the balance, and about Stark, and Arcadia, and...
Why is my world called Stark anyway?
This is probably going to sound strange to you, but I'm clueless. I have no idea what this place is, or what I'm doing here, or... All I know is that something strange is happening in my world, I guess.
Yes!
I had dreams, and the dreams felt so real, and then things started happening in real life too. Things that couldn't happen, and
I think I will begin at the very beginning.
Oh, thank you!
I believe that is why you were sent here.
Yes.
To learn, to understand, to see for yourself. Like you said, you cannot believe in this place.
Yet here it is.
Well, you will. After you have learned the truth, you will.
Oh, really?
Come with me, and I will tell you the story of Earth as your books never have. And when your eyes and ears are open to the truth, perhaps your mind will follow. We can only hope. Come.
Okay. Begin your explanations, Padre. Time for exposition!
This is the true story of the balance, as observed by the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance, the Fathers. The Sentinel Minstrom committed this story to the pages of the scriptures and to these temple walls thousands of years ago, so that coming generations could learn and understand their past and their future. The wall paintings we are looking at became known as the murals of the balance, and it is through these images that I will recount our common history to you, April Ryan.
Okay.
The story begins and ends here, with this mural. Ages ago, and in ages to come, the Earth was one, and magic and science existed side by side in nature and in all people. There was balance, and there was harmony.
You're saying there was just one world then?
Mm-hmm.
One world, one Earth. Magic and science in balance with each other, within each and every living creature. The power to make the stars dance and to create life itself was within our grasp. But then, humankind began to exploit this divine power of two, and they saw fit to use it for their own selfish purposes. The balance of the cosmos was in peril.
Oh, goody.
Unless something was done, unless man was humbled and learned to fear the power he wrought over cosmos, the twilight of chaos would fall upon Earth.
Oh, that's not good.
It had happened before, in distant times and on distant worlds, and it would happen again. and every man, woman, and child of every people and every race would be devoured by the coming apocalypse. We were given a visitation then. The drag kin, having lived among us for untold generations, rose to offer their guidance and assistance in preserving the balance on our world.
You gonna follow, April? Okay, good, thank you. I was going to be annoyed if I had to actually click you over.
The drag? I think I've heard that name before.
You have? From who? I don't remember.
Dragkin, Draken, Dragons,
Oh.
whichever name they go by, they remain the eternal servants and custodians of the balance.
Oh.
There were 4 of them here on Earth, and of the 4, one who would found the Order of the Balance, the Sentinel. The first Minstrum were instructed that magic and science would have to be separated before the balance collapsed and brought untold disaster. Earth would have to be split in 2 equal parts.
Oh, lovely.
Arcadia and Stark. Magic and science. Chaos and order. The first Sentinel were counted 13. 6 scientists, 6 magicians, and 1 who was between. The Dragkin, our mentor, our custodian, our learned guide. Both magic and science were needed to perform this most difficult of tasks. To split a world in 2, to create 2 worlds from 1.
Oh, lovely.
Wasn't the use of that kind of power dangerous to the balance?
Yeah, wouldn't it be dangerous?
Yes, and so for this purpose, they built a tower to channel their powers and focus them on the divide that they would create. The kin had brought a disc with them, a disc forged in the fire of their world. Placed at the base of the tower, and the epicenter of the divide, the disc and the tower would become one, a conduit for the flow of magic and science. At the appointed hour, the 13 came to the tower, and with them a woman, whose destiny was decided by the purpose to which she had been born.
Oh, really?
She would be the first guardian, the human protector of the balance, who would stay in the tower for 1,000 years to watch over the 2 worlds, and to ensure that the flows of magic and science were always equal. And so the ritual began.
I'm guessing that one is related to April somehow. That's gonna be my guess. April is somehow related.
One world was to become 2, separated by the balance, and each world visible to the other only by way of dreams. Who was ushered into which world was not an arbitrary choice, nor one taken lightly. For the magical creatures, the choice was simple. They had to go to Arcadia. Their kind would not survive in Stark. But for others, families were torn apart, lovers separated, and friends lost for all eternity. Encircled by the 12 and the 1 who would be guardian, the disc at the base of the tower began to spin faster and faster as more and more power flowed through it, until it was a blur. Darkness enveloped the tower, but the disc glowed brighter and brighter. Reality turned, and in one moment, a new reality had been created and 2 new worlds born. In the tower there was silence. The original disc had disappeared, and in its place was a smaller counterpart, a similar yet different disc. Around and outside the tower the world looked different. They were now between Stark and Arcadia, between reality and dream. This was the realm of the balance and of the guardian, and it would be her home for the next 1,000 years.
Well, that seems like
The one who was kin picked up the disc and said, "This disc is a counterpart to the original disc, which has now become this realm, and the key to which has been split and divided in 4. The key is the disc, and the disc is this realm." This mystified the 12, and the one who was kin continued, "Know only this. The Guardian's realm cannot be broken unless The disc is broken.
Am I gonna be breaking the disc at some point?
But nor can it be repaired without the disc being repaired. The 4 pieces that is the key will be given to the 6 of you who are to be taken to Arcadia for safekeeping. Yet the key will never be complete, he went on, without the precious stones that adorn each piece. I will keep 1, and my fellow kin the 3 others. Should the day come when this realm must be repaired, or the worlds reunited, and that day will come, you will assemble the disc, and the kin will come together one last time. With that, 6 of the 13 went to Arcadia, and 6 to Stark, and the one who would be guardian ascended to the throne. Witness the mural, where her dreams and hopes, her very soul, were locked away in the disc.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
In service of the balance, these traits were nothing but barriers. Through new eyes, the imbalance between the worlds was as clear as the stars themselves to the Guardian. And with one thought, she channeled chaos from Arcadia and logic from Stark into the disc, and redistributed the power wherever it was needed. A new era had begun, the era of the Guardian. After they left the tower, 2 of the Drakkin went to Stark, the other 2 to Arcadia. The 6 who came to each world started what is now known as the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. But while in Arcadia the Sentinel thrived, in Stark they did not. In Stark, the memories of magic and the balance could not survive in the face of the new reality of natural laws, of logic, and of science.
Of course not.
And soon, very soon, Arcadia became nothing more than legend, a myth, tales of fairies to recount to impressionable children, and stories to frighten and entertain around a fire. And while dreams still brought sights and sounds of Arcadia to those asleep in Stark, they were discounted as mere dreams and nothing more.
So that's it? We forgot about our past and about Arcadia? And that's the way things are? Then what's wrong with that? And why does magic from Arcadia seem to have begun leaking through to Stark?
Yeah! I have no idea what's going on.
That is another long story. But I can tell that you are tired of stories, and so I shall be brief.
Thank God.
As I told you, while in Arcadia, the Sentinel grew in numbers and in strength. In Stark, while flourishing for a brief time, they were soon diminished and powerless. Some of the Stark Sentinel did not take kindly to this, and they berated the Arcadian Sentinel for their politics and teachings. The Stark Sentinel wanted people to work towards reunification, while their brothers did not. So the inevitable soon came to pass, and the Stark Sentinel parted ways with their Arcadian brothers, and named themselves the Vanguard. And while at first their philosophy was not so different from ours, over the years it changed radically. The Vanguard wanted the divide torn down, the worlds reunited, and the return to what they called the Glorious Ages, when humankind could control the forces of cosmos.
That don't sound good at all.
But first they needed their own servant in charge of the balance, their own guardian. Now, every 1,000 years, a new guardian took the place of the old one, because no one can be separated from their souls for any longer than 1,000 years.
No one can survive that long, can they?
Every 1,000 years, a new guardian was born. The balance provided the seed from which a new fruit grew. But now, it has been 200 years since the previous guardian, the 12th guardian, was to be replaced.
Uh-oh.
Every new child born to the balance has been taken away by the Vanguard, to be studied in an attempt to control them. In every instance so far, they have failed. But the 12th Guardian could wait no longer. Only a short time ago, the disc in the tower shattered, and the Guardian left his throne. The balance is now untended, and we have yet to find a new Guardian. Unless we do so, the Vanguard may get their chance.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
And they may be able to place their own puppet on the throne, to rule the balance according to their principles. and this we cannot allow. It will mean the end of Stark and Arcadia, and the dawn of an era of chaos. Now do you see?
Yeah.
I understand the history. I can even accept it. But I don't understand why I'm here and what Cortez wants with me.
You're probably a new Guardian.
The balance is in peril, April. The Guardian has abandoned his tower. He has disappeared, and there is no one to take his place. He must be reinstated to protect the balance until a new Guardian may be found.
But he doesn't want to.
And what can I do? I'm nobody. I've just been having a lot of bad dreams.
You are a strong shifter. I have not seen your like in my lifetime.
Really?
A shifter?
Someone capable of opening doors between worlds. A shift. A portal between the realms of Stark and Arcadia.
But I didn't do that! Cortez
Are you
did!
kidding? I didn't do anything. Cortez was the one who opened the shift, and he just waved his hands around in the air. I don't think I'd be capable of opening a portal even if I had a magic wand.
Only a shifter's own power can allow her to travel. No one else can do this for her. Cortez only channeled your power to aid you. He would not be able to step through the shift himself.
Even if that's true, I don't have any control over my talent.
Nope.
Not yet. But in time you will. How else do you intend to travel back to your world?
God, I hadn't even thought about that yet. Can't you help me?
Yeah, where's the nearest taxi?
I'm afraid not. Even if I could shift, I would not be able to channel through you like Cortez did.
So, I'm on my own?
If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. But aside from that, yes. Yes, you are.
Then you're worthless.
That's so not cool.
No, it's not.
No, it has been unseasonably warm. If you don't mind, I will return to my studies now. Thank you for listening to an old man and his long stories.
No, thank you. It's starting to make a little bit of sense now.
It is? I'm still clueless.
That is good news. Come see me again if you have any more questions.
I think I'm going to. Like in about the next minute or so. I am so lost. You want me to actually... Okay. Is it still Sarah? Do you have Sarges? And why am I not screaming and frothing and tearing my hair out without when I obviously should be? When confronted with the impossible, isn't your mind supposed to just snap? Perhaps because I had so many vivid dreams about... Okay, now I don't even know if dreams is the right word anymore. Visions, perhaps? Or even better, premonitions. That's in keeping with the theme of this place, magic. Oh yeah, magic. Apparently I'm supposed to accept without question that magic does exist, which is impossible, but clearly not impossible enough because there is magic wherever here is. I've written more on the next page. Still, in fact, all the strange I feel normal. For some weird and inexplicable reason, even though I've still to wrap my head around the concept, I accept this place. It feels comfortingly familiar in a distant, hazy way. And even though I want to go home right now, I'm not panicky. Not at all. Just a little bit. Oh, and I should write that name down before I forget it. Brian Westhouse. That's the last thing Cortez told me, to visit Brian Westhouse whenever I wanted to go home. Told by the story of balance. My head is starting to cramp up. Oh, you have no fragging clue. My head's already going. I don't know what's going on. Hopeless Louis George Washington. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Tobias. I have many questions, sir. Like, why do hot dogs come in packages of 8, but buns come in packages of 10? Wait, that's completely reversed. Okay. That's the chief question.
Do you know a man named Brian Westhouse?
Westhouse? That old goat? Yes, unfortunately. What would you with him?
That's not comforting.
I need to find him.
I do not know where he lives. I hear somewhere on the outskirts of the city by the sea, but I cannot tell you any more than that.
Who'd know about
Who
him?
know about West House?
His whereabouts? I do not understand what you would with him. He is rude, uncultured, and ignorant.
Cortez told me to look him up.
Well, I do not know where he lives or frequents, but someone at the market may. He trades merchandise there, and I think he collects maps of the Northlands.
Oh, good. The map maker might know. The hell was... You know about Cortez?
What do you know about Cortez?
Your mentor? What has he told you about himself?
Not much, I'm afraid.
Not much. Nothing, in fact. He's a complete mystery to me.
To learn something about someone, the best way to go about it is to ask them yourself. There is nothing I can do to enlighten you.
But who is he?
He is who he is, what he is. If he has not told you himself, then perhaps he does not wish you to know. It would be improper for me to divulge his secrets.
You're no help at all.
You're as bad as he is. No offense. It's just frustrating.
I understand. The next time you see him, tell him what you have told me. Maybe he will tell you the truth, maybe he will not. It is his choice to make.
I'll see you later.
I'm just gonna.
You will? If you say so, then it must be true. Just gonna. Oh boy. So we now have a mission. We've got to find Brian Flippin' Westhouse, who's apparently sounds like not too good of a personage. Where are we gonna find him? And just what else am I going to do in this nice little town here? I don't even know what this town is called. Find out next time on The Big Man Plays The Longest Journey. Till then, it's BygPhattyPlus, sayonara. And, you know, Cortez, you really should have given me a map, directions, maybe some money for this world before you sent me through. Instead of just leaving me to fend for myself and, you know, hoping I'll have some on-site procurement. Frickin' moron leaving. It's like lambs to the slaughter.